time to bring this rotten racist society down. Racist to the core, greedy, selfish and ignorant. There's only one place you're going to be going unless you stand up and do something about it now. You need to have a treaty in this country. A treaty creates a foundation of law, something that we haven't got in this country. It's a healing thing. It brings us together. It creates a foundation of law that we can grow as a civilised society in the future. Without it, it's a racist, criminal, colonial state, no better than Nazi Germany, no better than South Africa. I want to introduce Arma Rahman. Yeah, give a big hand.
Thanks for having me. I'd like to pay my respects to the elders and to the land that we're on.
Hi, Robbie.
I was just up in Queensland for Lex's trial. Lex Wotton's trial is only the latest phase in the campaign of complete intimidation and violence towards the people of Palm Island since Wurundjeri Dumatji's murder. From the time he was murdered, to the cover-up, to when they started flying in extra troops, armed police to patrol Palm Island, finally to the riot, and now to the ongoing intimidation of witnesses in this so-called trial that we've just witnessed. We all know Lex Wotton's innocent.
We're talking about freedom here. The big picture is freedom. It's not only us. If you free us, you free yourself. If we free, we've got to free Lex. The same thing applies. If Lex is not free, well, we're not free. You're not free. The same people who's locking Lex up and doing stuff to us, the same people who are screwing you mob as well. Sooner or later, they'll get me, they'll get us, they'll get you as well. They've already got. So we've got to be together here. We've got to be strong, so that we can be free. We want to free. We've got to free ourselves. We're going to free this country, we're going to free this whole world, and we're going to stop these people from doing what they're doing to us. That's all I think I'll say for now.
First of all, I'd like to say that I acknowledge that we are on Wurundjeri land. I'd like to say hello to everyone, first of all, and my name is, as you've heard, Nathan Fennan. I'm an Aboriginal man from far north Queensland. In fact, I have a lot of family members who live on Palm Island. So as you are aware, you've heard that on Friday the 24th of October, Palm Island man Lex Wotton was found guilty of riot and destruction. Wotton participated in the November 2004 protest against the killing of his friend Wurundjeri Dumatji. I'm here to tell you, don't believe that Lex is a lawless blackfellow. Lex is a working class man, a plumber by trade. He's a father, a husband, and he's sick to death of a society where another black man is wrongfully arrested and half an hour later found dead. See, Lex knows that a lot can happen behind closed doors. Wurundjeri Dumatji's death gives evidence to that. Lex also knows that a lot can happen on an island far away, and that most of the people in the broader community don't care. The issues on Palm Island are too far away to be of concern when it's black people dying. But as soon as Aboriginal people say enough is enough and protest against the obvious and blatant miscarriages of justice, most of Australia's media just focus on the symptom of inequality rather than the root cause. Last week, there was talk of police getting awards. In fact, Queensland Police Union President Cameron Pope described the Palm Island protest as one of the most violent attacks in the history of Queensland on the legal system and on the police officers themselves. Yet, no police officer was injured. And Morangi had 4 ribs broken, a ruptured liver that was almost split in 2. No police officer lost their life, but Morangi died in a police cell in agony. An Aboriginal man dies in custody, and the legal system rubs his family's nose in it. So what you people in the broader community call a riot, I call a reaction. I call it a reaction. I call it a reaction to a negative society. I call it a reaction to a legal system that routinely turns a blind eye to the crimes it commits. How can you live like that? How can you live in a society that has a legal system that holds everything and everyone accountable except itself? You cannot live in a society like that. But quite clearly, you can die there if you're Aboriginal. Mr. Dumage's injuries were, by coroner's reports, more consistent with someone who had been in a car crash. So I asked you in the broader community, if this was your loved one, would you, in the broader community, readily accept the term accidental death? I don't think so. In fact, I think there'd be public outrage. What I don't understand is why the same sentiment doesn't extend to an Aboriginal person. Lex Wotton and the Palm Island community clearly have had enough. You must remember that if due process had been followed in the investigation of Morangi's death, there would have been no riot. In fact, if due process had been followed, Mr. Dumage would not be dead at all. Lex's response was one of anguish and deep-seated sadness. Anguish at not having a voice, as many of you have a voice. Anguish that for Aboriginal people, all the avenues for justice in this case would equate to the exact opposite, injustice. And anguish that, as recent as 2004, an Aboriginal life does not matter to many Australians who preach equality to the rest of the world and present a nation's motto of a fair go. Lex Wotton is a political prisoner. We want him free now.
Today's action is part of a national day of action, and while we are assembling and marching here, people are marching around the same demands to free Lex Wotton all around the country.
Blue murder. Red neck. Red neck. Red neck. Blue murder. Red neck. Always will be Aboriginal land. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land.